So right now the drone world is about to change again. Just a few days ago, the first teaser of DJI's upcoming Avatar 360 drone appeared online. And if the leaks are correct, this drone will be the second 360 drone on the market. But there is one massive problem with it. According to the leaks, Avatar 360 might weigh around 377 grams. And that number is extremely important, because if the drone weighs more than 250 grams, you need a license to fly it, which is a big deal. Because let's be honest, most drone users around the world don't have a drone pilot license. They just want a small drone that they can fly during travel, hiking, or filming landscapes without dealing with complicated paperwork. And taking into account all the recent events and all the tension around drones flying illegally is not something I would recommend. So instead of waiting for a drone that many people may not even be able to legally use, today I want to talk about something much more interesting. A real comparison between two drones that stay under the 250-gram legal limit, a traditional drone versus a 360 drone. On one side, we have the revolutionary Antigravity A1, a lightweight drone designed specifically for immersive 360 filming. And on the other side, we have the drone I've been flying for years, the incredibly popular DJI Mini 3 Pro. The question is simple. In 2026, which one should you actually choose, traditional or 360? Let's find out. I've been flying the Mini 3 Pro since the day it was released. It helped me capture some fantastic moments: mountain, landscapes, travel shots, cinematic fly-throughs. Honestly, it's been one of the best drones I've ever owned. I never upgraded to the Mini 4 Pro because the camera improvements were minimal, and for my type of filming it simply wasn't worth replacing a perfectly working drone. And I also didn't upgrade to the newest Mini 5 Pro because in many regions the regulations around the C0 category became stricter, and some models started pushing the limits of the 250-gram rule depending on accessories and battery combination. And Mini 5 Pro appeared to be not C0 category drone in different countries. But when I first heard about the Antigravity A1, immediately realized something. This is the one I want to fly next. This drone wasn't just an upgrade. It was a completely different approach to filming with drones. So I decided to test the new 360 drone and traditional Mini 3 Pro side by side. To make this comparison fair, I took both drones with me to this absolutely fantastic location in Pyrenees. It's an incredible place between Spain and France, with huge mountain landscapes, dramatic valleys, lakes, and very little tourism in some areas, which makes it perfectly for drone flying. During the test, I recorded both the actual drone footage and the live view from the controller and goggles, so I could carefully analyze the results later. I tested image quality, colors, speed, signal strength, range, and overall flying experience. And just to make it clear, I'm not biased toward either drone. The Mini 3 Pro has been fantastic for me over the years, but the Antigravity A1 introduced something that really surprised me, and the difference becomes obvious the moment you start flying. When you fly a traditional drone like the Mini 3 Pro, the first thing you always think about is the camera framing and direction. You need to move slowly, you need to rotate gently, you try to position the drone exactly where you want the camera to point, because whatever you record is basically final. If the camera was pointing the wrong way, the shot is lost. But with 360 drone like the Antigravity A1, everything changes, because the cameras are recording every direction at the same time, which means that during the flight, you don't have to worry about framing the shot perfectly, you simply focus on flying. And later, during editing, you choose exactly where the camera should look. And that creates something very powerful. You can export the same footage multiple times from different angles. For example, you can create a forward cinematic fly-in shot, then export the same clip again as backward fly-out transition, or create a dynamic FPV-style rotation, all from the same flight. That level of flexibility simply doesn't exist with traditional drones. Another interesting difference is the field of view. The Mini 3 Pro uses a standard camera with digital zoom, but with the 360 footage, the idea of zoom changes completely. You can smoothly transition from a narrow cinematic perspective to an ultra-wide flying perspective that feels almost like FPV flight. The moment feels faster and more immersive. And because everything is recorded in 360 degrees, you can adjust the camera path perfectly in post-production. Now, let's talk about technical details. The Antigravity A1 uses dual cameras capable of recording 8K 360-degree video with very high-resolution sensors. Because the drone records the entire environment around it, the final reframed video can still maintain excellent detail even after cropping. And thanks to advanced stitching algorithms, the drone body and propellers actually disappear from the final video, which makes the drone essentially invisible in the footage. During my tests in the mountains, I also noticed something interesting about speed. The Antigravity A1 is noticeably faster when climbing or descending vertically. Its vertical speed can reach 8 meters per second, while the Mini 3 Pro climbs at about 5 meters per second. That difference becomes very noticeable when filming cliffs or mountain reveals. Horizontal speed on the A1 reaches around 60 meters per second, which is about 57 kilometers per hour, similar as on DJI Mini Pro series. That's more than enough for cinematic shots and even dynamic FPV-style movements. Battery life is also very comparable. In real-world conditions, both drones stay in the air for around 25 to 30 minutes, depending on the wind conditions and flight style. The A1 has a standard battery that keeps the drone under the 250-gram limit, but there is also a larger battery available that increases flight time significantly, although using it may push the drone above the legal limit in some regions. One of the most unique aspects of the A1 is the way you control it. Instead of a traditional controller screen, it uses FPV goggles. Not everyone likes flying with goggles, and in some countries you need a spotter nearby while flying. But the advantage becomes obvious when you fly in very bright environment. For example, in the snowy mountains of the Pyrenees, the sunlight was extremely strong, and during filming I could barely see anything on the Mini 3 Pro controller screen. But inside the goggles, the image was perfectly clear. The goggles also include an external camera, so when you need to look around, you can simply double press a button and see the real world again while the drone safely hovers in place. Reliability is another thing I pay attention to. My Mini 3 Pro survived a few crashes and sudden drops during the latest years, and everything's still original. But I did experience a few signal interruptions, where the drone suddenly lost connection before returning home. With Antigravity A1, I haven't had experienced any issues like that so far. The build quality feels very solid, and replaceable lens covers are actually a great idea because eventually you will scratch them during flights. And by the way, Antigravity offers now 15% discount for A1 drone, and I dropped the promo code in the description so you can also get the free replaceable lens kit for double lenses. So just check the link in the description below. Let me tell about advantages of traditional drone. Of course, 360 drone is not perfect. One of the biggest challenges is extreme lighting conditions, especially sunrise or sunset, when one side of the scene is very bright and the other side is in deep shadow. In those situations, traditional cameras sometimes handle dynamic range better. But I'm very curious to see how software updates will improve HDR and tone mapping for the A1 in the future. Will it get similar to Insta360 X5 adaptive tone feature? We will see. So, after testing both drones in the mountains, the question becomes simple. Which one should you choose in 2026? If your goal is purely cinematic filmmaking with perfectly controlled shots and maximum image quality, then honestly the best option is still a larger professional drone like the DJI Mavic 4 Pro. But that also means more weight, more regulations, and often a drone pilot license. However, if you want a drone that stays in the sub 250 grams legal category, gives you incredible flexibility in editing, allows you to capture everything around you, and is simply more fun to fly, then the Antigravity A1 is something truly special. It redefines the way you film with drones. You don't have to worry about camera direction. You don't have to repeat flights. You can capture everything and decide later how the final video should look. And honestly, flying a 360 drone is just much more fun than flying a traditional drone. So I'm really curious, what do you think, guys? Would you switch from a traditional drone to a 360 drone? Or do you prefer the classic cinematic style? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, just don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and I'll see you very soon on the next one. Cheers, bye.